Today we're showcasing every entry in this year's Student Educational Video Awards. This year's contest, we had almost 650 entries, representing 52 schools and nearly 1,000 students. I'm so impressed by all the hard work these students put in to make the videos that you're about to sample. So grab some popcorn and enjoy this year's All Entries Reel.
I'm gonna call my friends on Zoom and ask them how to make a Thanksgiving turkey.
Why are skeletons so calm? Why? Because nothing gets under their skin.
Subtitle is a cool structure right by Rayleigh Field. Just put in your homework, then drop in a dime, snap on the switch, and in 10 seconds time, you're home.
What happened?
What's going on? January is the very beginning of this unlucky year. Coronavirus was discovered and announced, but nobody thought it could be that bad.
I'm hungry. What's for breakfast?
We learn to stay healthy and physically active.
Don't stop grinding, kids. Let's go, let's go, let's go. You can do anything you put your mind to. Let's go.
Another reason why you should fund the schools is because that you would get better PE equipment, like basketballs for recess.
Second bean, super car, got 3 seats, just for me and me and me. Can I sleep? Gotta think.
Hi, my name is Sahar Stanapalli, and my superhero is my brother Samuel.
Hey Mustangs! My name is Sterling.
My name is Isabella.
And today we're going to be doing the Pringles Challenge.
What you get when you drop a pumpkin?
What?
You get squashed.
Interesting time, you might be wondering what to do during this pandemic. There are so many things you can do to occupy yourself during these days.
There are so many different kinds of electric cars, but today let's investigate in Priuses and talk about some pros.
Since we've been doing distance learning, it has been rather difficult asking for help on homework from our peers, since we can't talk face to face. Here are some tips to make it a bit easier.
What was your first look into animation, and when were you first introduced to it?
Well, as a very little kid, I had a record album with a thing called a zoetrope on top when I was like 3.
That I liked about 2020 is that I could still see all my friends and family.
My favorite part about 2020 that I got to go to Mexico before the global pandemic, and I got to spend time with family.
2020, you're the rain cloud, but I'm sunny. You poured down acid rain, and yet I'm still sane.
So much stuff is canceled. This is unsustainable.
My name's Chad Discount, and I'm here with Compliments, the compact, easy way to boost anyone's day.
I am a nurse. I am an essential worker. Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Stay safe. Please stay safe.
Stay safe.
Regular exercise can lower blood pressure and cholesterol levels.
Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live.
Hi, my name is Enzo, and I'll explain how my life has been better since the quarantine.
I met you in the winter of 2018. You were sweet and caring. I idolized you. Once we grew close, you nudged me to leave my other friends. I left everyone immediately.
One thing I am looking forward to this year is graduating early and having a semester off.
a neat plant.
My name is Callista, but my friends know me as DJ Callista. And I'm gonna make a song out of these three.
Our future.
Our future.
Our future. Our future.
Our future.
Our future.
Means less pollution.
What would you do in this situation?
Notice how Gemma is pressuring Jessie into doing something she doesn't want to do.
Would you A, sneak out, or would you B, stay safe at home?
Thanks for watching Some Good News. And remember, there's always good news around the corner. All you have to do is look.
What are you gonna be when you grow up? What? Who are you? How silly. We are your conscience.
A new frontier of escapism has opened.
YouTube Music is somewhat of an underdog in the music world. That being said, YouTube Music does provide a very unique take on a lot of other sites.
Throughout the year 2020, basically everyone was at home staying safe, and when people stayed at home, they needed to do something to stay entertained, and one of those things were playing video games.
Present. The past and future are just thoughts in your mind. The only thing that you have in reality is the present.
While I'm here, I guess I'll tell you about the yearbook. I'm finally on land.
This is gonna be quite the video.
And all I brought for entertainment was Wayne's World on VHS and this old CRT TV.
Deaths each year between 2005 to 2009 among adult non-smokers in the United States.
What are you doing here?
What are you doing following me again?
Actually, you're the one following me.
Hello, my name is Carolina Cazares, and I'm here to talk to you about how education has changed due to COVID-19.
So watchful that the mouse hardly dared show the tip of his whiskers, a fear of being...
There is a wide variety of choices, but the rocket bus is my go-to vehicle for downhill and ramps.
Tip number 1, avoid being a robot, okay? You're human, be human. Humans make mistakes, that's okay. Know what you're gonna do, know what you're gonna say.
LOL, nice pick. I love
Alice, you still have your life to live in the real world.
The real world will always be here, but shifting is different.
As a creative hobby, sewing is unique to me. It's unlike a dessert I bake for my family or...
Take a look at these 4 characters. Can you tell, at a glance, which one is going through a difficult situation?
I didn't just have a new passion, I had a light at the end of the tunnel.
Everything has become pointless, day after day, meal after meal, but my thoughts of life has started to change. Consumed by the stillness, the quietness of shame, of loss.
Hey!
Starting off with men, we have wigs. Now why wigs, you may ask? It's
Weeks turned into like the whole year and things got canceled. So I think in that aspect it was negative.
This is her life at the moment. Everything has been canceled for her senior year, and she's been forced to face challenges that no teenager should ever face.
No one in my family has ever really been a musician.
I guess they were good at other things. But
Hi
since
everybody,
Mona...
welcome back to another episode of the Kyle and Kyle Show. My name is Kyle.
And I'm Kyle.
Spare begged the poor mouse. Please let me go and someday I'll surely repay you.
I added salt and pepper to my eggs and used my toast for a cheese and bacon sandwich.
The king rode on a huge elephant, adorned with the most gorgeous trappings.
Vietnamese was a new norm. Some can say it was an education or a norm.
We just have to get our priorities straight and focus on the ones that love and care about us. The ones who will support us at our moment.
And I'm falling deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into a hole.
You do not see or smile or hear your laugh when someone makes a joke. You do not see yourself when you're focused on doing the things you love.
Honestly, I'm not even sure if our mom even knows that we're different people, you know? We share a girlfriend, too. Some people don't like their twin, right? But, you know.
Every day, young people are left out of conversations about world issues because of the mere reasoning that they're just too young.
A few months ago, I got to visit Atlanta, Georgia, and learn about a very important person in American history. And I'm going to be solving this Rubik's Cube, which is called an Ivy Cube. Started off at the visitor center and gift shop. We got to see some stations about the trees.
And right now we're talking about our episode and our SEVAs for this year.
How it spreads and why the vaccine works.
So I'm an infectious diseases doctor. I take care of people with infectious diseases.
Girl Scouts has probably helped me a little bit more confident because I'm like around people and you share your ideas and stuff a lot. So I think that's helpful.
Is it easier to work at your studio or at your house?
It is definitely a lot easier to work in the studio.
And guess what? I got COVID.
We just thought, there's no way that we have COVID.
This is the Salmon Falls Bridge.
Chasing your dreams will attract naysayers, but don't let them get in the way of your greatness.
Maybe 11, maybe 12 years old. We had a Volkswagen Beetle, and it was, we're talking a long time ago.
Safe, responsible, respectful, and kind.
My name is Marissa, and I'm actually a competitive swimmer. I've been competitively swimming since I was 4 years old.
What is the hardest or most challenging part?
Probably learning.
I think it's important to spend time with your family during the holidays because it gives you that warm, fuzzy feeling that you can only get from your family.
But oftentimes after going through adolescence, many adults who had Tourette's as children will start ticking again.
And so we put a stop to it. All the money that we used to spend on Christmas now goes to people that can't help themselves.
Berkeley is perfect for me, and I'm very happy that I have the opportunity to go here and that I chose to go to the school.
What are the challenges you're currently facing with COVID-19?
Our location in the center.
What about the new Monday schedule?
Well, I mean, I'm not necessarily mad at it. And I don't necessarily hate it.
I think that the movie that I'm most excited to see would be another remake of Dune.
I think she was around 7 months, and I think now she's 9 months old.
They were following certain guidelines. We have a right to protest.
Why? Because they just haven't been encouraged to do competitive things throughout the years, and hopefully that changes for the future.
What would you say that the biggest struggle of starting your business was, and how has the pandemic affected your business?
Children and adults with vision loss across 27 counties in Northern California.
About Gunther's is that Gunther's was founded in April 1948 by Herman Pop Gunther and his wife Iva.
Overall, it went really well. I got better and better and won more ribbons. Over the years, I definitely have achieved a lot.
Has not been affected
super severely because we have a roastery in the back and we roast our own beans that are
people like Ruby Bridges, who was the first Black person to ever go in an all-white school.
And I think about it now that I'm 22 and I'm like, what's wrong with looking like Alicia Keys? What's wrong?
College did you go to?
To the University of Southern California in
really insecure, but then I realized that they Photoshop so much.
Well, it was about 90 because it took an awful long time for France to.
Optimistic answer to just considering the state of the world and the fact that we're still on lockdown.
My phone as often as I thought I would, but that was because the fact that I had deleted social media never left my mind.
Is it harder or is it easier to do than going to the actual gym every day?
It's harder. I have to learn new tools.
Hi, my name is Carson, and if you want to learn how to fly an airplane and soar among the clouds, I'm here to tell you how.
It's been worse and worse, and this year, particularly in 2020, has been, our worst.
Currently, every 1 in 5 high schoolers is vaping, and it's not just flavoring and water vapor that teens are putting into their lungs.
Possibly the last 6 to 9 months of the pandemic. I have a list of 5 things you can do to sort of keep yourself occupied.
Growing up, until we went to school, we spoke nothing but Spanish. We spoke no English whatsoever.
And I am a preschool teacher who's currently studying social services at American River College.
When you talk about why people can be employed and not have health care, well, that's because the employers have decided that...
I never felt like I truly belonged in the high school I was in. It was all just blow that I never got to really enjoy. What makes it worse is when the...
Here are some general tips and mannerisms to help you serve the tea.
Paid. NVC will send the I-864 forms and instructions to the petitioner.
I was always shorter than my classmates, but kids are small, and so it didn't really become a problem.
Going out to do activities and sports and concerts and stuff like that to being on this nationwide quarantine.
So it was logical that it was time for us to pursue adoption.
So by legalizing marijuana, it would definitely lower the crime rates on drugs.
The average teenager spends about 7.5 hours on their phone every day. But why?
Mental health can be an afterthought. And mental health is the cornerstone for our well-being.
And it makes sense that it would apply to time. Being stuck in an hour-long line at the grocery store must feel like it's taking forever.
It's because I went through this exact situation. I would wake up, get dressed, write down my goals.
That's going to be kind of costly. So instead of hiring someone to do it, why don't we just do it ourselves?
When I'm stressed out, what I do to calm down is I watch movies. Like watching movies is probably like one of my favorite things to do.
Online school is still hard for some people, but otherwise it seems that a lot of students have gotten used to this new way of learning
Toledo
now.
Southwestern Cafe, a popular, cozy neighborhood cafe located on the corner of 56th and H Street in East Sac.
A prominent unnatural factor that leads to an ecosystem failing is us.
To produce almost 2,000 pounds of trash per year. That's nearly 5.6 pounds of trash each day.
This drive for military environments, and when I saw that something like that existed in a high school setting,
it seems that recently, like in the last few years, the parties have really hardened their position.
Said his most important job is to make sure Bodhi isn't aggressive, something that can tend to be overlooked or neglected by many pet owners.
Find Will C, I would have to start from the left of the keyboard and play each note individually until I can listen for the pitch of middle C.
Which goes full circle and then goes back around again. And don't know how long it's going to stay, but yeah, it's kind of fun.
Schools are closed. Restaurants are closed. You can't visit friends and family. Life is hard. Materials you will be needing are a pen, a pencil, crayons.
In these boxes is these. You will need these to make it.
1 cup of pancake mix and you pour it in the bowl. Next, you take 1 egg and
it takes practice to stay positive. So here are 3 easy ways to stay positive during these challenging times.
Let's mix it all together. Wait till well combined to move on to the wet ingredients.
We gave them out to the folks that we thought would really enjoy them.
Now that's a lot of cookies. So maybe you have to look through boxes or you gotta go to the store.
place oil in the pan over medium heat. Add 1 pound of turkey meat and stir. Origami paper. Start by taking the top right corner of your printed paper and line it up with the left side. Is going to be 1 cup of brown sugar, 1/4 of a cup of granulated sugar, soap, hydrogen peroxide, yeast, and safety goggles.
Fill the canister 1/3 of the way.
Then you take 1 to 3 teaspoons.
You don't want to leave any guts on the ground, like even if you drop them.
Second step is to look on the top that says basic and advanced, and the bottom it says time range. And then
you don't have to pull a lot. You have to pull a little.
Draw by hand and not with computer.
Hey! You're not supposed to be using computers!
High contrast mode is originally used to make text easier to read.
With Mimi and Harleen.
My name is Mimi, and today we are going to show you how to join a Google Classroom.
We need a noodle. We need wires.
And then you will roll it again. It's not going to be perfect, but it's really good. Next, you're gonna add milk. Next, you're gonna put your lid on.
Make sure that you have more than 1 cup. An onion. A tomato. A jalapeno.
Soap is especially important now during the COVID pandemic because it helps kill viruses and bacteria.
Find a flat surface that's either wooden or tile, so it makes it easier for your foot to glide.
At the bottom, you'll see a backpack, and if you click it, you can see all the stuff you got.
Once you've given everyone 7 cards, place 1 card from the deck in the middle.
Time to mow the lawn. Make sure your feet are protected with proper footwear.
So first you have to do add and create, and then you have to do slides, and you have to wait for it to load.
Then go to the assignment that you want to turn in, but before you turn it in, you have to make sure it's done. Then click View Assignment.
Hi, my name is Gracie, and we know it's hard having to use a Chromebook, so today we're going to be teaching you how to use one.
First, point your knife down when you're carrying it, just like this.
Make sure they're overlapping. Then you're going to secure with a piece of tape. So no parts of the present are shown. Next, you're going to fold the flaps inward.
If you have a almond bark, ask for a parent to cut it up.
To someone over here, and then I'm going to shuffle this part one more time. A black or white canvas, a paintbrush, black paint. First you decide who's king.
And I'm going to be the king. So I'm going to roll the dice.
Next, put your cooked walnuts into a plastic bag and use a rolling pin to smash it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is get some hand sanitizer. Then you're going to open the cap.
Robo Rock. Come here, Robo Rock. And then hit share. And then you have your shared screen.
Well, let's see how these kids turn folding socks into a game.
Soggy.
Up too high, then you could drown your flour, and
you have your mask right here. Now you're gonna want to make sure you don't put your mask on the opposite side.
And fold it back. Then you want to make a crease.
One who wants to know how to play basketball and whoever wants to learn more how to play basketball.
And pie crust, that's what we'll need. So that's the scoop. This is Cooking with Ryan and Landon.
Quick setup, we're going to add in our crushed Oreos.
And that will be all for the construction of the dough. And now for your toppings and sauce, you can mix this up however you want.
And finally, 2 cups of chocolate chips. So let's get started. Okay.
Then he makes sure to turn off all of the distractions that could prevent him from getting his work done.
This recipe serves 8, and so we should really get started, and we first start with the ingredients.
In a small bowl, stir together 6 tablespoons lemon juice.
The race to find a sufficient enough video conferencing alternative began. Companies and schools both turned to Zoom.
First, you need to combine the unsalted butter and the sugar in the mixer.
We need space where we work on because it makes it so much easier to want to do homework.
The first step is brushing out your hair and dividing it into 3 equal sections.
As an example, we just put air in it.
When you're at this page, go over to the search bar with the magnifying glass on it.
Open the hood completely and look for a label marked engine oil. Pull on the little handle and wipe down the stick with a paper towel.
So the first step is to remove the keycaps just like so you can actually clean it.
So to start out cleaning your PC, make sure it's turned off and make sure to unplug it from the back.
We use a raised bed.
First, dig a hole 6 to 8 inches deep. Next, a paper and a container or box.
Alright, step number 1, you're gonna pull your hair back, literally using anything. You can use a bandana.
Then we draw a skinny cloud-like shape on the top of the cone.
Step 2. You want to bounce the ball directly under your legs.
first, you have to take your media and put it into your timeline.
On the top, B, and on the bottom of the shirt, C. First things first is you're gonna have to pitch both pieces of fabric on point A.
Fevers, the loss of taste, the loss of smell.
Using our scissors and tape. These are completely optional, but if you're planning on doing cutouts, I would highly recommend it. So the first thing that you're gonna need is 2 rubber bands. These are mine.
And then it equals 1 cup, and so I added another cup of ice because I have multiple siblings. So
the first thing you need to do is plug in your sandwich maker.
The way through the bandana, and you do it on the other side too, and at the end you should have something that kind of looks like a giant candy wrapper.
Of course, so I'm going to use grass, leaves, and trees and rocks for my background. A 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder.
Step 2. Cut up 7 or 8 medium-sized strawberries, which can be fresh or frozen.
milk. Now we're going to preheat the pan.
Takes about 2 to 3 scoops. And then, when done scooping the batter,
next, add 1 pound of elbow macaroni into the boiling water.
Our golden potatoes, a bowl, a plate, seasonings of your choice, a knife, and an air fryer.
First, preheat your oven to 250 degrees. Next, take your pan and put the pretzels in a line.
Into the dough making machine.
Is to make a chocolate ganache. So you warm up a 1/2 cup of cream in the microwave until
if your parents want some tea, here's how to make
AT&T.
And the first step is to wash your hands.
Once you're done with the lumpias and ready to put them in, you want to make sure that the vegetable oil is preheated and put the lumpias in as fast as possible so they can cook.
You also want to make sure that the pillows are correctly in the pillowcases and they're not all twisted.
But it makes it sound a whole lot better in your voice. And you can use a music program on any device you have.
Second, we need to wash the rocks. First, get a little bit of dish soap on your hands.
Which I'm going to use as a shovel. And you're going to put some soil into the pot.
Bring the mallet to the outside edge and begin gently gliding it around the corner. You want to go at a slow and steady pace, as to maintain consistency with the sound.
If the ball bounces more than once on your side of the table,
think of your dominant hand, which for me is my left hand. That is the hand you will use for your forehand ground stroke.
Next up, we have Ultra Pro deck protectors. They are pretty sturdy and give nice protection.
You're going to put the trucks onto the board by tightening the skateboard hardware onto them.
This chainsaw has an 18-inch blade and it's getting pretty dull and loose, so it needs to be replaced.
Third, remember to never ever dry fire your bow. This means never pull back your bowstring and let go of it.
So now we're outside, the first thing you'll need to know is how to position yourself correctly. First, if you're right-footed, put your left foot on the left side of the ball.
Now, when you put them on, you'll want to pull up this part to get your foot into the boot. Now, when you get your feet into your boots, you'll want to
start chopping the wood.
You can either build or buy your garden beds. The garden bed you see now, my family and I actually built out of wood that we got from Home Depot.
Move to a quiet area. You want to move somewhere quiet so you can hear more without adding to the noise. If you have
With all these changes, I'm going to give you some helpful steps on how to stay healthy during distance learning.
Make sure you drink lots of water. If you don't like the taste of water, add fruit.
There should be a small gap between the palm of your hand and the ball after you position your fingers.
Nobody wants to get sick. But you may be wondering, how do I make sure I don't get the virus?
Workout guarantees you burning off that for all that food. But remember, do this every night and you will see results.
First, cut wrapping paper, as much as needed.
And disposable masks are safe and reliable.
Oh, great. Thanks.
Of writing
Notes?
for
What are
today's
notes?
lecture.
Notes? I haven't written notes in so long. What am I gonna do? No.
1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, and half teaspoon of salt.
The smaller pinion gear. Make sure the alignment is right. Now tighten the set screw to lock it in place.
Make sure the screen is wrinkle-free and that your lighting doesn't create any unwanted shadows.
The first mistake people make while they're brushing their teeth is that they leave the tap on while brushing their teeth.
Important part of working out is stretching. This is a chest and bicep stretch. You should feel it on the inside of your armpit.
To start off this recipe, you're going to put some olive oil in a pan and start putting on your salt and pepper onto the chicken and
So you have all the resources you need in order to achieve this goal. R stands for realistic.
After that, you fold the circle in half and fold it again.
You'll start off with 15 squat jumps. When doing these squat jumps, remember to keep your back straight.
A bowl to mix in and a whisk. Step 1 is to wash your hands.
The first step of being smart is figuring out what type of learner you are.
I will be sharing with you a few secrets that have enabled me to be successful during this time of distance learning.
Foliage as this might make the mantis feel a bit more at home. Not too much as to make the place look too busy
First,
though.
we're gonna start off by greasing our pan.
To somebody, you can sell these headbands. I personally think they're really cute and they're really useful.
You're gonna pull down your middle finger, your ring finger, and your pinky finger and simply place your thumb on top of them.
is to practice. Practice all the games that you want to get good at, and find the games that you feel you're the best at.
When we multitask, our brain will learn to lose its focus and it would eventually be difficult to concentrate.
Next step is knot a string with the lanyard hook. Feed the loop through the lanyard hook like so, and feed the remaining string up and through the loop.
The materials you'll need are an empty water bottle, vinegar, water.
Oh, I'm just writing a script for a video I'm working on. Say, do you want to know how I put together a video?
After that, grab your pie crust and pour into your pie crust.
Let's get baking! Here are all of the ingredients that you will need to make this cookie.
And your coffee maker, and if you don't have a coffee maker, that's totally fine. You can always use instant coffee, and I'll be linking that down below.
And while that is heating up, you're going to want to lay out all your ingredients. Here are 1/4 cup of flour, 2
You're going to boil a 1.5 cup of milk and boil it for a few minutes until it starts to get a little bit foamy.
Step 1. Put the 1/3 of the rice in the mold and add the pork floss to the second layer.
My name is Nicole, and I'm going to teach you guys how to paint a mural. So I'm an artist from Sacramento, California, and
the poses I'm going to be going over are sitting, leaning against something, and standing.
And I wanted to get their opinion on it, on how to learn how to skateboard.
We all know how difficult it is to wake up in the morning, especially when school is only a couple of feet away.
Flathead screwdriver. It's very important to get a screwdriver that fits so you don't.
On the back of the tire lever, there may be a bump that you can use to make this easier.
If you guessed a boogie, which is basically a mixture of a brownie and a cookie, then you are 100% correct.
It's for you. Plus, it's creamy, healthy, comforting, and just plain delicious.
Now that we have our oven prepped, we want to get our pan out for the salmon. Get our spray.
First, I will be teaching you a simple single crochet stitch. Next will be a half double crochet stitch. And lastly,
tip number 1, always do your homework right after school. Now, even though most students may not do this,
especially the parts where we make connections. However, there are still ways to stay connected with friends despite the pandemic. Today,
I've learned through trial and error what helps me not get into those states and what helps me keep my motivation and my positive energy.
Third, we will apply rice water to the hair and leave it in for 10 minutes and rinse off.
The first thing you're going to need to do is grab a bag of your dog's favorite treats and get a leash to put them on.
All you need is a toothbrush, some toothpaste, and a flosser if you have one.
Hey, did you know that you can still travel safely?
Hello, who is this?
Hello, I'm here to check your internet connection.
Oh, okay.
Germs.
Get out and move. It's easy, keeps you healthy, and makes you happy.
Oh, well, how does it make you feel when you eat candy?
It makes me feel hyper and makes my stomach hurt.
Any contact with the power connector, which is this metal piece, and the data connector, which is this small metal piece.
Ew, are those what my teeth are gonna look like? I hope not. But first is...
Because to have a hard life being overweight, you have the risk of getting diabetes. Also, you can have trouble bending down, running.
There are mental illnesses. Especially during COVID, you could get either one of these or...
People need to put their phones down while they're driving. If they do, the streets will be safer.
Plastic, glass, and aluminum are a few things you should recycle. I'm going to use paper as an example.
Water and air, two essential fluids on which all life depends, have become global garbage cans.
so bad.
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, what's up, man? Have a good day, bro.
Use a nail brush to get under those dirty nails. Before you eat,
Wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. If you wash for less, you may not get all the germs off. If so,
And even though we are not old enough to vote, we can encourage adults around us to vote.
you can adopt, foster, volunteer at your local shelter today. Just show them a little love and care.
When it comes to abusive ownership, there could be things like dog fights, which could leave bruises and scars on your dog.
If you are being cyberbullied or any other type of bullying, make sure you go talk to someone you trust.
Or else.
Be careful who you talk to and make sure you don't give them any of your personal information. Thank you.
Just replace the nozzle with a new one, the same brand as the sprinklers, and you fixed it. For more info, go to bewatersmart.info.
Don't forget to put on some deodorant. Plus, remember to change your clothes every now and then.
What if I told you that there was a danger among your toys? This danger can bring fear into the average home.
Over 160,000 kids refuse to go to school each day for the fear of being bullied.
Oh, hey real life version of me. What are you doing?
I have to clean up my room.
Make sure to press the eco button. Eco-friendly washers can use up to 1/4 less energy than regular washers.
About 37% of young people between the age of 12 and 17 have been bullied online.
Cyberbullying is just as effective as physical bullying and causes depression, lower confidence, and even causes suicide.
People with depression experience depressed moods, loss of interest and enjoyment, disturbed sleep and appetite, may have
9 billion tons of litter end up in the ocean each year.
So, for the good of the earth, throw your garbage into the...
There are over 17 million coronavirus cases. To reduce those numbers, wearing masks and social distance.
When you take care of yourself, try new things, and do things you enjoy, you feel better.
Here's a statistic about the people who have tried to quit smoking and who succeeded, which proves that smoking is hard to quit.
You can help stop littering by picking up your garbage and throwing everything into its proper bin.
Dishes. When washing clothes, put in full loads and wash on cold. Air dry or hand dry dishes instead of using a dishwasher's dryer.
In 2014, I was among the 415,000 kids to be put in the system.
To actually have a healthy breakfast, you should have foods that include whole grains, such as
Now, you may think that homework is a waste of your time, but it actually works out your brain. It challenges your brain and forces you to think.
1. Do full loads of laundry. 2. Do full loads in the dishwasher.
Always wear a mask when going out in public. There's many different kinds to choose from.
You will want to make sure you get in your fingernails and in between your fingers.
Traffics across the borders every year. 71% of the victims are female, but it could happen to anyone.
It helps your understanding of the topic and lets the teacher know you're not asleep in class.
Speak up if you see someone scared for the child, a teacher, or a dog. Ask somebody.
The way you wear your mask is very important. Putting it over your mouth and nose can contain most germs from spreading. However, wearing a mask incorrectly is about the same as not wearing one at all.
When you think of plastic pollution, you might think of large pieces of plastic litter, but the biggest problem is microplastics.
Fog is known as fat, oils, and grease and is responsible for more than half of Sacramento's sewer problems. When it goes down the sink,
our future needs a cleaner earth. Ocean pollution is a problem we need to solve.
If you drop your trash, make sure you put it in your pocket or throw it inside a trash can. Air pollution kills over 1 million seabirds and also kills nearly 100 million mammals every year.
When recycling levels in the US reach 75%, 1.5 million jobs will open up, giving people you know a better chance at making money.
You'll get nowhere in life thinking that. No, I'm good.
Especially now that so many of us aren't leaving the house. No sports practices, school, or going into the fresh air outside.
And mental illness can cause the person to make decisions with permanent consequences.
And washing your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, washing the tips and fingers.
Come on. How much harm can it do? I'm just gonna play Minecraft right now.
This is not the America I know.
You never know who touched the things you touch. The virus can spread throughout air and the surfaces we touch.
You touch the doorknob, but you don't wash your hands. You touch the car door, but you don't wash your hands. You touch the fence and you don't wash your hands.
In your yard, you can collect rainwater in a bucket and use that to water your plants and bushes. For your lawn, you can water the grass earlier in the morning or late at night so it doesn't evaporate.
In today's society, racism is a major issue that continues to harm and affect people today. 19.3% of U.S. young people ages 2 through 19 have obesity.
1. It teaches kids about having responsibility. 2. It helps kids become more helpful around the house.
Good question. We're the region's largest sewage collection utility, and our job is to get the U.S. sewer problem before it arrives.
We don't think much about the sewer and its piping, unless there is a problem.
People should only flush toilet paper and human waste, nothing else. I know.
When will this end? Is it okay to not be okay? Can I help this on my own?
Cigarettes and e-cigarettes contain a highly addictive chemical known as nicotine, which causes an increase in blood pressure, heart rate, flow of blood to the heart, and a narrowing of the arteries.
As the region's largest sewage collection utility, SASD will come to you at no cost and fix the problem if it's their issue.
Another 5.6 million teens under 18 will die due to smoking.
Mask. Not like this, nor this, but like this. Nose, chin, and mouth are all covered.
When you're walking, keep your head up. It's important now more than ever to stay 6 feet apart.
Wipes, rags, and paper towels back up the pipes, causing an increase in sewer maintenance, which means an increase in operational cost for the
suicide. There has been a surge in suicide death rates, rising from 14.2 per 100,000 people into
Vapes contain harmful chemicals that can permanently damage your lungs and that are harmful to brain development.
When you have a backup, overflow, or slow drain, call the Sacramento Area Sewer District.
Many items in your house may contain the chemical mercury, which has been proven to be dangerous to humans.
Exercising is not the only way to stay healthy. You can also eat better and get the right nutrients your body needs.
Take the excess fog and can it, scrape it, and trash it.
When you're depressed, it feels like tomorrow's not going to happen. Depression is the darkness that leads to suicide.
If you or a loved one feels this way or displays any of this worrying behavior, do not hesitate to reach out or contact the Suicide Prevention Hotline.
Oh no!
There are lots of interesting animals at the Georgia Aquarium, living in habitats especially created for them.
Welcome to MM News. This is Madison.
And Wesley.
Students were excited to do a variety of different projects.
My project was the wheel about Antarctica.
Hi, Oka students. This is Destiny. Today we are going to be learning why you should not text and drive.
It was a small fire located behind Walgreens. It burned all right here, if you can see the ashes.
What's news, Costello? Today is Friday, January 27th, 2021, and we have a great show for you.
What do you think or like about Sierra Enterprise?
So far, I have met several.
This is an action-packed adventure about kids who have taken a vacation to Jurassic Park and was left behind.
How long does it take to make one sign?
Well, I used to try to rush, and I learned from
This event is put on by Rancho Cordova Community Council. I have some questions about it, Shelley.
We also learned how to film a forced perspective.
Why did Cinderella get kicked off the soccer team? Because she kept running away from the ball.
Hi, my name is Annika, and this is the 7th episode of KFTV Dragon News for this year.
Welcome to Mighty Oaks News. I'm Vanessa and I'll be your host today. In this episode, you'll learn to make a heart out of paper.
Today I'm at the whale shark tank of the Georgia Aquarium. This is one of the biggest tanks in the world.
You would if you were sitting around. It would be things as simple as walking. Time to learn how to dribble a basketball or a soccer ball. Sitting around.
Here's our Sunrise Vice Principal, Mr. V, with the new culture for the month of November.
Running for Rep 5K, new secretary, Mrs. King.
New drop-off pickup baskets.
Hello, my name is Mia with your Eagle Nation News. Every year, we celebrate veterans for their military service.
But while the construction workers have worked long and hard to give us our brand new school, they started with plans, breaking ground, and finally building up.
However, some people think Zooms are unhelpful and don't give kids the full experience of school.
Hey Bears, welcome back to Be Positive, where we focus on being positive and kind.
We know we can't be in the classroom, and it is stressful, but we can go to common room.
I would just call and text my teammates, and with my coaches or teachers, I would take some private lessons.
The virus brought many changes to our everyday life. Some small businesses have had a rough time.
You need to wash your hands. You have to have a mask. You need to get your temperature.
Hi everyone, I just got home from school. Let's see what I got from school for lunch.
Sometime in March, school shut down unexpectedly, but students have still been able to learn.
Cameron Zanino with your Eagle Nation News, interviewing my mom about being a distance learning mom.
Not that bad, but I prefer to be at school because actually in school you can actually learn with other people.
Since March 2020, our school and community have been suffering. It's important to get exercise because your body needs it, and if you don't get exercise, it's going to affect your body.
So we feed the homeless home-cooked meals at least twice a week. I keep a bin of food on my porch so they can come up when they're hungry and grab canned goods.
Hi, I'm Desire Castillo here with your Eagle Nation News, bringing you a story on ironworkers.
How are we going to do the Veterans Day Assembly this year?
Don't worry, Ida, we're going virtual.
We've met a number of Bulldog parents, including a real estate agent.
a yoga instructor, and the vice president of global marketing for the.
Have you ever thought about what type of jobs are in the National Guard?
In the summer, they do things like infantry.
So this online school thing isn't just a struggle for students. It's also pretty challenging for teachers as well.
I have always wanted to be a teacher. It's in my blood.
Once most of the population gets the vaccine, a lot of people believe things will go back to normal.
So it's basically taking whatever we can do in the classroom and trying to figure out how to make that happen online.
Of course, we all miss school and the real connections with teachers and students, and hope to go back to normal soon.
I feel like my kids are much safer here in my house.
Well, the pandemic and everything so uncertain, keeping students and teachers safe should be everyone's top priority right now.
Some people believe you can get the flu from the vaccine, but Dr. Miranda says otherwise.
And the reason is because it's not a live vaccine.
It was a huge jump. You go from playing with people my age, like 15 to 18, to people.
And when you have those who aren't trying to still go around and try to make it a normal day.
If students did not have a phone to film with, they received a camcorder with a tripod, a mic, and lighting.
COVID-19 affected small business around the world as the small companies were not ready to develop.
I think social distance bike riding is a very good idea, especially since you can't really go outside.
Nursing's a very hard job. You learn as you go, and it's hard to teach it if you're not there in the real life.
Physical activity to me as a PE teacher is everything. All movement.
We also have our hood technicians, which work underneath the hood of your vehicle to check all your fluids. And
I'm voting for Biden and Harris.
I'm voting for Biden. I'm voting for Biden.
Yes, it's a 1984 Cutlass Supreme 4-door. I think Broadham.
One Barrett student has decided to take his Legos and create a holiday-themed stop motion.
The 3 categories is judging on appropriate attire, presentation, showmanship, and...
Welcome to this particularly spooky episode of the Today Show with the one and only Jimmy Falcon.
Thank you, Dr. Duran. While we digest his information, let's go to entertainment with Danielle.
Mike Lloyd and the offensive line look to turn heads in the Delta League. As he heads into his senior year,
the whole experience feels different and it will be an interesting thing to be able to look back on.
2? Yeah, I do.
We're here to let you know that your grandson died today.
You don't want to touch the outside of your mask with your hands, and before taking them off, you want to wash your hands.
Regardless of your eligibility, you can eat free from the age of 18 and below, and you don't have to be enrolled in the district.
Hey Tigers, Mrs. Pitts here. Some things that I'm grateful for during this season are, first off, I'm grateful for my family.
Do you have any video game recommendations for me?
Yes, I can find that video for you.
Families, we are super excited to be here with you today. My name is Miss Iceberg, one of the counselors on campus, and I'm here with Mr. Van Ort.
Okay, we're all going to get through this, and I hope that these tasks help you. Thank you, and go Tigers!
United 2020 will be virtually presented at showtax4u.com on October 1st, 2020.
Thanks for watching this year's SEVA All Entries Reel. We'll see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. with the big show, the 2021 SEVA Award Night event here on SECC's Comcast 16 and online at secctv.org.